right. I guess I'm getting close to understanding a little bit more about what's going on there. I would like to check my notes real quick. Oh, okay. All right, great.
Of
So
course.
one of our meetings, Psychic Leaks Cross, you led off with the same thing my friend, the psychic duck, led off with. You said, I see you have a wall between yourself and your emotions. Is that accurate? Am I remembering that correctly?
Do you have a wall between yourself and your emotions? You don't allow yourself to process them fully. You don't allow that. I just feel, why? Why doesn't Ray allow himself to process them fully? I mean, there's a part of you, and I don't mean this in an insulting way, but there's a part of you that just wishes it would just go away, right?
Yeah, yeah.
These bad feelings, they need to just go away. And maybe I'm just having a bad day, and maybe they just need to go away. Maybe I will feel different tomorrow, and you usually do. But then the feelings come back, and then they go, and then they come back, and then they go. So the feelings never leave, right? And because you're not processing them, because when they do show up, you're just like trying to get them to leave, like, just go away. I'm not even going to pay attention to this. I'm not going to have you ruin my day. Part of the reason you had to experience this thing at the school was it was really trying to force you to connect with these emotions and to process them. And you were forced to process. You haven't processed everything, but you certainly processed a lot. And that reconnection needed to happen. Now, that disconnect happened when you were young. How old was Ray when he disconnected? I think you were 7 years old.
Would that be when my mom died?
Is that how old you were when
I think
she?
so.
Okay, 7 years old is what I'm getting. Was that when? Yes, because those feelings were so terrible, you didn't want to experience them.
I know that I turned off my emotions right away, pretty much when I learned my mom passed away, because there was nothing I could do about it. So I was wondering, did I ever fully grieve my mom's death?
No,
And is that my main stumbling block, perhaps, or one of them?
I think it's the foundational stumbling block, but then there have been many stumbling blocks built on top of that. There's also this thing about, I don't understand why someone just doesn't like me, because you are so likable. But when somebody who doesn't like you, yeah, again, it's going back into they wish they were like you. Like, it looks to them, it looks like you're the man of steel. Like, nothing bothers me, nothing phases me. And that really bothers other people. So, but you are very bothered by, why don't they like me? What have I done wrong? What is it that you have to understand? It has nothing to do with you whatsoever. If somebody does not like you, that's their problem, not your problem.
Right. I'm going to concede. I don't know if this is a correct statement that that's a good lesson that I understand better now that I'm in my 50s. I'm not sure I
Mm,
was willing to accept that before I turned 50. Um, but
mm.
anyway, so um, if I've not fully processed grieving for my mom's passing, um, would my mom, I know she's right there. Would you like to give me some pointers? Does she want to send me something to think about, something to ponder, so that I could start grieving after 50 years?
The loneliness, the fear, the sadness, the grief is what she's saying. I mean, your mother loves you very, very much. And just as much as you all missed her, she missed you too. Now, the fact that she left made the three of you closer, very close. Um, if she would have stayed, you wouldn't have been as close, but you did. You became very close, and that's a good thing. But What else does Ray need to grieve? I don't even feel like you allowed yourself to cry when your mom passed.
You're right.
I got to be tough. I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not going to show that I'm sad. I got to be strong for everybody else. And I think all of you boys were like that. You were trying to be tough, you know?
Yeah.
So it's about allowing yourself to cry, allowing yourself to grieve, allowing yourself to actually experience the loss. And I feel like your dad didn't really experience the loss either. I don't feel he was grieving. I feel it was business as usual. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Almost immediately looking for a replacement. How am I going to deal with these kids?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the time period as well, where women dealt with children more than men.
Yeah.
I do. I'm getting that very strongly. It was very much like women take care of the kids, men go out to work, but he never found a suitable replacement.
Right. So, um, oh boy, I apologize, Psychic Liz Cross.
No,
I'm
don't
looking into it carefully.
apologize.
Yeah. So, um, is there something I'm doing? Like you say now, I'm starting to process my emotions more. Um, what am I doing that's helping? Is it just like when I'm on my hikes and doing affirmations? Is that what's helping? Because I know, you can overcome trauma using the emotion code. You don't have to think about it consciously. You can just, release those things. Is there something special I'm doing that's helping me cope with these emotions that have been pent up for years?
The meditation and the affirmations are a bit of a cover up. Um, I feel that when you are on the brink of releasing emotions, you kind of slip into affirmation mode. Maybe not consciously, you realize you're doing this.
So like what I'm thinking you're saying is like when I feel an emotion coming on, it's
Mm,
so pleasant, I start to drown it out with affirmations.
yes, that's what I feel. Like, I've got to remind myself I am going to do this and I am going to get through this and I am powerful. I am one with the universe. That's what I'm getting from you. So it's about allowing yourself to experience those emotions. Now, those emotions do come out when you are on hikes for sure. Oh, that's right. You're like some mad dude that goes walking at midnight
Ah.
with the coyotes, right? In the full moon. I remember that now. Man, oh man, that is so scary.
Oh, it's not so bad. And well, anyway, later in the interview,
Oh, thank you. Thank
yeah,
you. Yeah. Yeah, I think you were on such high alert.
yeah,
And I understand with good reason.
yeah. Well, it was good. Yeah, I did have good reason. I know. Somehow I gotta chill out more. Because the threat is not there. It's not there, right? I mean, it was
Yeah.
there, but it's actually like, part of a Deus ex machina, a god in the machine to rescue me.
You know what you need to work on
Tell
is
me.
leaving situations on your terms instead of these disastrous contracts.
Okay, you're talking about my soul, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want this anymore. I want to leave
Yeah.
on my terms. Exactly.
Leaving on your terms.
Wait,
Not
What do Mary and Claudius have to say about that?
what do you have to say about that? Yeah, it can be done. It can be done for sure. And I feel that by the end of this lifetime, will have pretty much mastered that. But you've got to, this is, you're not leaving on your terms. You could have had the same outcome Now, see, why are spirit arguing with me about that? They're like, no, Liz, no, he wouldn't. Because this has driven you more into the spiritual side of things. You're like looking for answers. Why is this happening to me? So you definitely went a lot more spiritual because of this. But I'm saying there has to be a way that you can leave on your terms and still embrace spirituality, embrace what you're supposed to be doing. Why do we need this trauma to bring out this part of yourself? So, this is the planning for this lifetime. But I think going forward, let's work on what I'm getting from your mom. Let's work on, leaving on your terms, calling the shots, becoming more spiritual. You don't need a traumatic event to do that for you, that you could do it anyway. Because you are very spiritual in all of your lifetimes. You're very psychic. I mean, you are very psychic with those cards. I'm sure you get very good feedback.
Oh, I get incredible feedback. It's a little unbelievable. It feels like it's a gift from God. I don't,
Mm,
I don't know too many. I mean, I don't watch a lot of other people, but I haven't seen too many people do the kind of thing that I do. Not that I care. I'm not paying attention to what they do. The cards are, they're making it very easy for me to get the messages. Again, I think that there's a persona, there's some kind of entity, or what do you call it, a collective. There,
mm,
there's somebody with a personality out there who knows how to communicate with me that way.
mm-hmm,
I,
mm-hmm.
I don't remember if we addressed that at the beginning of the meeting. Who is it? Who is this person? Who are these people helping me? Or is it my higher self?
I feel, well, one of them is your mother.
Yay.
Yeah. And she's put a team together. Do you
Oh,
have an auntie? Do you have an auntie in spirit? An aunt?
I got several. But my mother was an only child, but my grandmother had three sisters that I know of, Aunt Angie, Aunt Mary, Aunt Nettie. Um, and then I got other aunts. My dad's sisters are Rosemary and Susan, but they're alive.
No, this is their past. I feel you have a very strong aunt. Now, this ability has come from your mother's side of the family.
Please continue.
Yeah, yeah. Now, are you able to do any CTT? Have you done any of it?
The short answer is no. I'm sorry to
Um,
disappoint you, Psychic Liz Cross.
no, no. But as far as your abilities are concerned, it will definitely help to open them up a lot more. Um, that's what it did to me. It opened my abilities up a lot more, and it would do the same for you.
Right.
So if you can, but I think you just don't like the tapping. You just don't like it. And that's okay. That's okay. Let's ask this question. Could Ray, when he's on his hike, could he just like say some of the word? Yeah, you could, as long as you're doing some bilateral movement.
Like walking.
Yes.
Okay.
You can try and do it that way and see. It would be effective. I am getting it would be effective.
Okay. Thank you. I mean, the more I talk to you, the more I see like it was a big plan, Ray. I realize you're upset. But yeah, I don't like this thing about not leaving on my own terms. That's been going on my whole life. Um,
Yeah.
and anyway, so well, I suppose I'll be giving it
I
some thought and
I
working.
totally understand. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
just totally I understand that. It's like you're forced into another path harshly. I mean, it's like you're thrown into this other path. You don't even get a choice. Like bam, you're just thrown out there and you got to get up and walk whether you like it or not.
right. It kind of reminds me. I'm sorry to share this part. Is like when I was sick all night from working in class in a classroom that was poisoning me, and then I had to
Mm.
wake up in the morning, put on my tie, and act like there was no problem, go to work again, just to get poisoned. But uh,
That is so crazy because, being a psychic, we are very sensitive to smells, right?
yeah,
I can't handle that stuff at all. Like that is, I don't care how faint the smell is. I feel it. It's protruding. It's like it's invading me. I can't deal with stuff like that. So I don't. That is so bizarre that you even have to encounter something like that. What? Tell me that again. She was using that plug-in.
So not just that one teacher, but there were several teachers who would use that plugin or they would use other devices like that. And anyway, I was assigned to a room where teachers had been using those things for years, and they may not have been using them then when I was in that room, but the chemicals had been saturated in the ceiling tiles,
Ah,
in the walls, and on the shelves. So I had
oh
to
my,
I spent like 2 or 3 weeks cleaning all the surfaces and covering them up before I could even decorate my classroom. And then when that year was over, that principal said, "Hey, you got to change classrooms again." So, they were just like, making me spin my wheels and waste my time just decorating and cleaning up other people's messes so I could breathe in a room. Anyway,
oh my God.
so again, I haven't had any chemical headaches, since they sent me away. But
Oh
um,
my God. But that is so toxic
yeah,
on a learning environment for children.
for everybody, I
Like,
agree.
why would you poison children like that?
Well, I don't think the people are aware or that they care. And some of the things they said was like, what, we had to cover up the smell of mold. So that's why we had to use it. And then, there was, this sounds totally stupid, but they put a psychologist, I guess, or a counselor in the same room with a laminating machine. And I'm all, that doesn't make sense at all. And then
Mm.
they tried to cover up the laminating machine with another air freshener. You're just introducing two toxic things in the building. So,
Oh
they
my
don't cancel each
God.
other out. You double down on the poison. Anyway,
But
uh,
why would anybody want to be in a teaching environment when things like this are just such trivial things? Like, I don't like a plug-in. I need to clean my room. Like, okay, why would you not like make the environment so positive for teachers that they actually want to stay and they enjoy their job? Like, I just don't, I never understand that. Teachers are under too much pressure. This is why they don't want to be teachers anymore.
yeah.
You know,
Well,
my son in high school, he didn't even have a mathematics teacher.
my God,
They didn't have one. He had to do all of his work online. There was no math teacher.
that's
Why? Because nobody wants to do it.
math teacher's always hard to find. If you know math, you can get better money somewhere else. So I have to ask this question because I got to rule it out. I'm sorry that this has been on my mind. We did go back. We figured out that I didn't cry when my mom passed away. Nobody did.
Mm,
It was business as usual and everything like that. And I was concerned that I was building up a wall of emotions and maybe hiding something from myself. Second,
mm,
Miss Cross, you're so honest and you're so helpful and you're a good friend. Was I ever
mm.
physically abused in any way and I'm forgetting about it?
Were you ever physically abused in any way? Emotionally abused? Yes. Physically or sexually abused? No. But you definitely were emotionally abused, which you are so sensitive. It feels like physical abuse.
Did the emotional abuse start in Pleasantville, New York?
Did the emotional abuse start? Just right before then,
Right before Pleasantville, New York?
right before Pleasantville, New York. Was it right before? Yeah, yeah, I'm getting a yes.
Okay. I was born and I know my family lived in the Bronx for a year before we moved to
Mm.
Pleasantville when I was about 1 or 2. So you're saying I was
Mm.
abused even as a baby?
Was he abused even as a yes, your immediate needs were not being met. So, are
And
you the youngest or the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest. But I feel that what I am getting from your mom is, you would have to cry a considerable amount of time. You were hungry. Babies up the ante when they're hungry. They're crying and crying and crying and crying. I feel financially your parents had a difficult time. And I am getting like, your mother also had a bit of postpartum depression. So that made things difficult. You know, she was left on her own pretty much. Um, your dad is again very much like business as usual, right?
Yeah.
And I think that what I'm getting is like those connections of bonding, they weren't always there because you were left to cry it out sometimes. Now, I'm not saying that she didn't tend to your needs. She would, but it was a delayed response. And even as a baby, especially with someone like your intense personality, it's like, I know what I want, you because you've always known what you want, and this is what I need. So even sometimes when you would cry, it's a guessing game. As a parent, you're like, okay, are they hungry? Do they need changing? Do they have a stomach ache? Is their ear bothering them? But and that also affected your bonding because you knew what you needed even as a baby. You're like, okay, I need to be changed now, man. And mom was taking too much time to figure it out. I think through life you have learned to be patient, but there was definitely an amount of impatience with you. You were not a patient baby at all. And and again, that coupled with postpartum depression, undiagnosed, it was difficult.
And my dad was having financial problems even back then.
Were they having financial? Yeah, I feel that it was difficult. Trying to keep food on the table was difficult. There was a lot of worrying in the house. There was a lot of, worrying in the home. Sometimes they didn't know where their next meal. Your dad is very reckless with money.
I
So,
know, yes.
and he wouldn't let your mother have control. Because your mom is very good with money. She could stretch a dollar like you would not believe. She knew how to do that. That was something that was very, very natural to her. She knew how to handle money. She could make things work. She knew how to make a meal out of nothing. Um, but he always wanted full control. And so that's what I'm getting like, money was tight. It really was. I feel like the family, did your mom have family nearby? There's family nearby there.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Her parents were in the Bronx and her cousins
Yeah.
were in Yorktown Heights.
They often would have to make like casseroles and meals and take them to your house.
I remember that happened when she passed away. They were definitely doing that. I didn't realize they were also doing it when she was alive. Wow, you
Oh,
really
yeah. Yeah. She would be on the phone like, we don't have any money. She would be crying her eyes out. It was very hard for her. And yet she did love your dad so much.
I'm having a tough time understanding why there was no money, but I don't want to think about it too hard. That was 50 years ago. Uh,
Okay, I'll tell you.
oh, okay,
Because your
go.
dad had, certainly back then, a bit of a gambling issue.
Oh, geez.
And I feel off and on, he's always had a bit of a gambling issue. So you guys are wondering where the money is gone? That's where the money's gone.
Was he betting on sports?
Was he betting on anything? Anything. He enjoyed it. He enjoyed gambling. But he never won. He was always losing. He was the worst, your mom's laughing like he was the worst kind of gambler. The kind that never won. So he had a gambling issue.
Later in the interview. So now I know. I mean, every sentence you said is so valuable to me. But regarding my emotional wall, it started when I was young, and just because I might be
Mm.
a demanding and dynamic personality to begin with, strolling in,
Yes.
strolling in with my 400 plus lifetimes on Earth, I already know what I want.
Right.
So
And I get that. I understand that because I'll tell you what, my first baby, my little angel baby, he was just so sweet. My second baby, oh my God, he hit the ground and that's you. I know what I want. I know what I need. Where is it? Why are you not getting it for me? How come you haven't figured it out? Now, in the long run, obviously, it served you very well, right? Because you've been very impactful and you've made such a big mark on so many people. But in the short term, it is damaging. It's hard to bond with a baby like that. It is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, my little one's he's the same. And I'm reckon he's gonna take over the CTT. I really do.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's very psychic as well. So I think that has something to do with it actually, because you know, as babies, we can telepathically communicate, right? So
Yeah,
let's ask this question. Was it that Ray Ray was telepath? Yeah, see, there you go. Telepath. So you're trying to send messages telepathically to your mom. Hey, this is what I need. She's trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, is he hungry? Does he need burping? Is it gas? Is it it? You know, and that was it. You very much were like, hey, how come? Because obviously you're a baby. How come she hasn't figured it out already? So there was a bit of anger there, and there was prolonged crying as well. And you would often witness your mother crying over the financial situation. And that was also very upsetting to you. That kind of toughened you up. Like, I have to be tough for her.
yeah. I'm thinking about my mom cry. Obviously makes me sad.
Yeah, your mom was a wonderful person. She still is. And she will be with you again in the next lifetime. She will have all her boys back, she just said. And
Good.
she says we definitely have to do things differently.
Great.
Yeah.
Glad to
I
hear
know,
that.
I know. My mom's in spirit too, so I know how you feel. You know, if you were giving me a reading about my mom, I would be sitting here bawling my eyes out too. So don't worry, I'm used to it. And you'll get used to it as well when people are crying when you're giving them readings. But it's hard, you know, it's hard. Your mom had she loved every minute of being a mom. She loved it. Great. She's telling me the greatest gift ever, but it
Yeah,
was hard.
sure. I mean, she had a baby right after me, even though things were already hard. She went ahead as
Oh.
they went ahead and had a second kid right away. My brother's not even a year younger than me.
Oh, wow. Wow. And you know, your dad was not very cooperative. It was pretty much like, get on with it. Again, I believe that's the time period. I
Yeah,
really do. I think things have changed so much now for the better. Men are far more involved.
yeah,
Um, and it's more acceptable for a man to be involved, whereas before it was seen as something not, you know, macho or, you know,
right,
not alpha male-ish. And I think your dad was very, especially when he was young, he was very like alpha male
right, right.
in a lot of ways, right? So it was, you know, I don't want to look like, you know, I'm doing a woman's job. So, you know, I think it was the time period. Let's ask your mom, was the time period, it was, see, there you go. She's just come back and said, yeah, it was a major problem.
Sure. There was a lot of chauvinism back then in the early 70s.
Mm, yeah. But your mom is just as sweet can be. She really is. She has a lovely energy and lovely demeanor, very soft demeanor. I don't know how much you remember. I do believe she's telling me you do remember some.
I remember some, I feel like I blocked out a lot of the memories so I wouldn't have to deal with the emotions tied to them.
That's very true.
Is that what I did?
Yes.
So if I
And
handle those,
also,
yeah,
sorry, and also you were trying to be strong for your brothers.
yeah, yeah. But
They didn't really know what was going on.
right. Later in the interview,
You can't go back to working.
I cannot.
No.
I have to do.
You're gonna go, if you're catapulted back into the same rubbish again. You've had your freedom now. You've had your taste of freedom. I just don't think you're gonna be able to handle it. going back into the political, the sorry for swearing, the bitchiness and the backstabbing, and because
Oh,
it feels like this goes on in a lot of the schools.
so I agree. I don't want to, but I mean, does the universe agree? I understand the plan. Ray, live off your savings. You have just enough. And then when you get to 61 and a half, you change the venue of your money and it comes from state teachers retirement. So, I will have a consistent monthly salary for the rest of my life. Is that, I mean, it feels like you couldn't have planned it better if you were God himself or herself.
Yeah. Is Ray gonna go back? No, I don't see you going back to work. I really don't. And actually, you not getting that job or even the interview was a blessing
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
because it's very political there. It's very like a lot of discord. Um, just you're done with that.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so I mean that's a good message too. I mean, so if because I might have a chance to be put on the quote unquote must place list where the district would have to say here are the openings. Go ahead and take the job that you want. But I'm going to be better off just saying I'm going to take another year's leave of absence. I got money in the bank I can live off of. This is going to be better than
Mhm.
going back to that stuff.
You should, Ray say. Yeah, I'm getting that very strongly. Like it's soul destroying. You can't go back to that. It's
You're
too
right.
crushing. Now you're out. Now you've had your freedom. Now you're not playing the game, right? Of going
Yeah,
in with a smile on your face, but it's so many like undercurrents that are just terrible. I just don't see you being able to go back to that. This is your new life. Embrace it while you can.
that's right. And you gave me good news there. You say it's going to take 3 years. That means I'm going to be alive for 3 more years at least. So,
Oh my God, you're gonna be alive for a long time.
like my grandfather who lived till he was 103.
I don't feel 103, but I think well into your 90s.
Oh, get out of here! Really? Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So that's awesome. So you'll have that teacher pension for a good 30 years.
Yeah. Nice. All right.
That's one way to teach them. Live long and
Live long and prosper. That's right.
yeah.